You look at that, it's a fucking beautiful day. I don't even smoke. Sony Vegas will open for me. Oh, wait. Oh, I haven't made a video in 2 months. Shit. I can't make a video about why I haven't posted because I already fucking did that, you see? And it'd be a bit unoriginal of me to do it again. If you catch my drift, homie bro man. I went ahead and bought a new graphics card because my old one was showing its age, right? It's fresher gameplay, higher FPS, and that just means, fuck you. Cue the background gameplay, please. I was going from my old school email Google Drive shit because I just finished school and I thought I'd go see what I did in the early years back when I started, and I stumbled upon a story of my friends, a crime story that we had to make about 5 years ago, and you know, I thought it'd be a nice little story to share with you. This piece is unnamed, so I'm just going to refer to it as Zach's story. Prepare your nips, because this is going to be a hard ride.
Detective Wilson looked up at the 20-story apartment building towering overhead. In this building, fuck, I can't see the text anymore. In this building was a murderer, and it was his job to take him out. As he and Carlos entered the lift, he pulled out his 9mm and slid the 14-bullet cartridge into his gun. He pushed the button for floor 20. As he stood back, he could hear the clicks of Carlos loading his suppressed MP5. Ding! They had arrived. As they approached Ryan's room, they got in position on either side.
Who the fuck's Ryan?
They got in position on either side of the door. Weapons at the
Weapons at the ready. Why is it funny?
The only sound Wilson could hear was the sound of his beating heart thundering in his ears. Sweat dribbled down his forehead. This was it. Detective Wilson counted down on his fingers. 3, 2, 1, clear. Carlos booted the door open and lobbed a stun grenade into the room. There was a moment of stunned silence before the bullets started to fly around the room. But luckily, the two had trained for this. In turn, they professionally commando rolled to the cover of the now shredded couch. Bullets whizzed overhead. Minutes passed as the two took turns swinging their guns over the couch and firing blindly around the room.
You know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna remake this story, and I'm gonna put my classic twist on it. You'll soon see what I mean, you cheeky little fucking whores. Heh. I was supposed to cut to another thing, but I kept on reading and I forgot about this part.
Reaching for his AK-47. These guys just don't learn. And with that, Carlos swung himself over the couch and sprinted to the cover of the kitchen bench, which is now covered in a thick, sticky layer of the bodyguard's blood. He then swung round and shot the bodyguard in the head. Yeah, Carlos. Carlos in the house.
Trust me when I say this one's gonna be a lot fucking worse, so just really prepare yourself.
Detective Wilson looked up at Carlos, staring at his biceps. In the building they had been investigating was a murderer, and it was their job to take him out. As he and Carlos entered the lift, he couldn't help but keep his eyes firmly stationed on Carlos's loadout, and not the one you're thinking of. As he slid the 14-bullet cartridge into his gun, Carlos looked up at him. He pushed the button for floor 20 in a panic, wondering if he had caught him staring. He stood back and could hear the clicks of Carlos loading his suppressed MP5. Ding! they had arrived. As they approached Ryan's, who the fuck is Ryan still, room, they got into position on both sides of the door. Wilson pushed his body firmly up against Carlos's. Wilson's erection and weapon at the ready. The only sound Wilson could hear was the sound of his breathing, beating hard, thundering in his ears. Sweat dribbled down his forehead. Could Carlos feel his dick pressed between his shoulder blades? Carlos counted down on his fingers as Wilson licked his lips. The door was booted open. When the door was booted, the door opened. What the fuck? And the inhabitants were met with a stun grenade. There was a moment of stunned silence as Wilson watched Carlos's thick, juicy body launch into the room. The two had trained for this. In turn, they professionally backflipped, following it up with 4 back handsprings to the cover of the now shredded couch. Bullets whizzed overhead. Minutes passed as Carlos took turns returning fire. Wilson just trying to adjust his pants so his stiffy wasn't so obvious.
Tango down.
Carlos muttered. All Wilson could let out was a weird shrieking noise. A perfectly lobbed grenade traveled through the air, landing near the bodyguards. There was seconds of scared yelling as the 2 bodyguards frantically attempted to shield themselves behind the kitchen bench. But it was too late, as one of them disintegrated into the blast, and the other's legs were blown off in a bloody mess. He was screaming in agony and anger, reaching for his AK-47.
These guys just don't learn.
With that, Carlos swung himself over the couch. Wilson at this point was now fully torqued. No chance of hiding his boner now. Carlos planted a bullet in the bodyguard's skull.
Yeah. Carlos is in the house. It's so fucking stupid. Zach, you're a fucking retard, by the way.
Carlos's sight was met with Ryan standing against a window. Looking unarmed, he decided to go in and handcuff him since he wasn't a threat without his gun. But at the last second, Raul put out his Desert Eagle and shot Carlos 3 times. The unmistakable thunk of Carlos's lifeless body falling to the floor shook Wilson's entire body, his erection especially. Wilson, who had been watching all the action from behind the shredded couch, found tears running down his cheek and an overwhelming amount of questions running through his head.
I didn't even know if he was gay. Did I ever get a clear view of his dick in the locker rooms? Why could I never hold my boners back when I was within a 5-meter radius of him?
With his gun gripped tightly in his hand, he snapped back to reality, shooting to make a cavity be choked. He so mad, but he only managed to hit him in the thigh. Ryan let out a groan in agony, limping to the back door that led to the roof. Detective Wilson, in hot half-chopped pursuit. When he got to the roof, he found Ryan against a wall, unable to go any further. The 2 individuals stared into each other's eyes for what seemed like 2 minutes and 29 seconds. You know I've been monitoring you, right? Ryan exclaimed, breaking the silence with a blank stare on his face. I've seen the way you look at Carlos, and I've seen the way you try to get a peek in the locker rooms. Wilson recoiled in shock. He knew. I killed your friend because, truthfully, I'm jealous. Wilson couldn't come up with a response, but his body did it for him. As Johnson was once again perching up, Wilson boldly walked towards Ryan, who looked slightly excited. Is that for me? Ryan questioned, his eyes on Wilson's crotch. The sound of his 9mm with a 14-bullet cartridge to suppress a fiber-optic day-night iron sights and a laser sight firing off could be heard around the block, the target being right between Ryan's eyes.
No. This is for Carlos.
He kneeled down on the ground, the tears returning again. The only one Wilson had ever loved was now gone.
Wilson?
There's no way in the world, Wilson thought. He turned around to be met with the best thing possible. Carlos.
I heard all that.
Carlos said.
I'm so sorry. You weren't meant to hear that. No. I've been waiting for you to say this for years.
Wilson's erection literally tore a hole in his pants.
How about we take care of that?
Carlos said excitingly.
I really hope you guys fucking enjoyed that, because I didn't. I've wrote 2 eroticas now, both as a joke. but I've still invested time into them. Okay, that's part of my life. I'm investing into something that fucking kills me from the inside. This has been your boy Juice Penis. I hope you enjoyed the video and have a splendid evening. Yeah, fuck you.